Singapore is smaller than New York City. It has no oil, no gold, no vast farmlands, and almost no natural resources. Yet somehow, this tiny island nation became one of the richest countries on earth. Its people enjoy one of the highest standards of living in the world. Its airport is among the best on the planet. Its ports handle enormous amount of global trade. And despite being surrounded by much larger neighbors, Singapore transformed itself into an economic powerhouse. But how? How did a poor, resource starved island become one of humanity's greatest economic success stories? And what can the rest of the world learn from Singapore? When Singapore gained independence in 1965, few people believed it had a bright future. It had no natural resources, high unemployment, ethnic tensions, limited land. Even its separation from Malaysia was viewed by many as a disaster. But under the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore embarked on one of the most remarkable transformations in modern history. And in just a few decades, the country went from third world to first world. Singapore sits at one of the most important locations on earth. It lies near the Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Thousands of ships carrying oil, goods, and raw materials pass through this region every year. For centuries, this location made Singapore valuable, but geography alone does not create prosperity. Many countries possess strategic locations. Singapore knew how to use its geography, and that made all the difference. Few leaders shaped like countries as profoundly as Lee Kuan Yew. When he became Prime Minister in 1959, Singapore was poor and uncertain. He understood something crucial. Singapore could never compete through natural resources. Instead, it had to compete through education, stability, and efficiency. His government focused on long-term planning rather than short-term politics, and over time, these decisions transformed the country. One of Singapore's greatest strengths is its low level of corruption. In many developing countries, corruption discourages investment, but Singapore adopted strict laws and tough enforcement. Government officials were paid competitive salaries. Transparency became a priority. As a result, businesses trusted Singapore, and investors from around the world poured money into the country. Singapore possesses one of the busiest ports on earth. Its location allows it to connect Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. The country became a global hub for trade. Containers from every corner of the world pass through Singapore. Today, its port is one of the engine driving of the nation's prosperity. Without this strategic advantage, Singapore's story might have been very different. Singapore realized it could not grow alone. It welcomed foreign investment. Multinational corporations established headquarters there. Companies were attracted by political stability, low corruption, efficient bureaucracy, skilled workers. As industries expanded, jobs multiplied, and Singapore became a center of finance, technology, and manufacturing. Singapore invested heavily in education. Its schools consistently rank among the best in the world. The government emphasized mathematics, science, and engineering. Human capital became Singapore's most valuable resources. In a country with few natural resources, people themselves became the source of wealth. One of Singapore's most remarkable achievements is housing. Through the Housing Development Board, millions of citizens gained access to affordable homes. Today, most Singaporeans own their homes. This policy created stability, social cohesion, economic security. Few countries have managed public housing as effectively. Singapore eventually evolved into one of the world's leading financial hubs. Banks from around the globe established operations there. Its strong legal system and stable currency attracted investors. Today, Singapore competes with cities like London, New York, and Hong Kong. For a nation with fewer than 6 million people, this achievement is extraordinary. Singapore's success story is impressive, but challenges remain. The country faces rising cost of living, aging demographics, and limited land. And because it depends heavily on global trade, economic disruptions can affect it significantly. Yet, Singapore continues to adapt. Innovations remain central to its strategy. Singapore proves that natural resources are not everything. Countries can achieve prosperity through good governance, education, stability, and strategic planning. Its rise demonstrated that geography creates opportunity, but leadership determines whether those opportunities are seized. So why did Singapore become rich? Because it transformed geography into advantage, because it invested in people rather than resources, and because strong institutions created trust and stability. From a poor island with an uncertain future, Singapore became one of the richest nations on earth, and in doing so, it showed the world that size does not determine destiny.